Okay, back for the second series of the day. DNKE taking on Frog No Hippo in the losers bracket round 4. So we skipped around here, but that's okay, as you guys are just going to get over it. If you want to look at the brackets, that's cool. If you don't, that's also cool, I guess, to see how these teams got here, and perhaps even to see what happened in this match, or don't, because then you won't be surprised. But Enthos and Shortcan are coming back, and you might notice that one of those player names up there is a little familiar. Because we're breaking rules, Shortcan, aren't we? But
Yeah, breaking rules, man. I'm sorry. But it's not my fault. You didn't decide to, take this series earlier with
I should
someone
have,
else.
and
Because...
I'm now regretting that decision. I probably should have done that. But for the most part, what I do is I'm just like, oh yeah, whoever's co-casting, you guys can pick a series. I don't really care. And apparently, I should be a little bit more forceful with emphasizing series that might include people that could co-cast in the future. And yeah, I guess that was my fault, but it's you people picking weird series. But Jesus Christ, you guys are picking fast. Bans.
Yeah. Neither Cthulhuphant or Parasite were banned, and both teams picked up those heroes. So Donkey Kong got Cthulhuphant, and Frog No Hippo followed up with a Parasite. So two heroes that are almost always first ban, and we get to see both of them play this game, which I haven't seen in a long time.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, the combination of Cthulhu and Magnus is already really strong. Like, two line stuns on two heroes that are very likely to get PKs, that can be devastating in team fights. With good Magnus initiation, with a Cthulhu afterwards, it would do so much damage. But, looking at the Hellborn side, they have quite a good response because Prisoner is really strong versus Magnus and Cthulhu because of that ball, the Shackled skill. So, I guess we'll get to see where this goes, right?
Right.
Now this is the point where you say whether you're favoring a draft or not, and you have to be objective. Which draft is better, Shortcan?
I think the Legion's draft is better.
This guy.
This is probably because Cthulhu is just such an incredible. Because I've mentioned this in earlier streams, Cthulhu is just such a broken hero.
Yes, he is. But what did I just say? You have to be objective.
I'm being objective, Quincy.
How do I know? I can't tell. If you had picked the Hellborn side, you definitely would have been objective. Or maybe there were some internal problems here. But what I'm saying is, now I don't know. So you made the wrong choice there. And hopefully you'll learn from your mistakes in Game 2. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I do agree with you, actually. I do think like the Elite
I hate to admit it, but I do as well.
Like, I love Rhapsody, and I like Parasite. Prisoner's an okay hero, but the Legion side picked up three really, really powerful heroes here. And why do people like NG as much as they used to? Please explain that to me.
I'm trying to be as objective as possible, but I love playing NG, so that's one of the... Well, NG is just a great hero because he creates so much chaos in team fights using the ultimate. And he's also really strong in a dual mid because of his, his double utility.
Right. And with the setup stuff from Magnus, too, it's just perfect. You can never miss the CAG. You always knock back in the right direction. You can set up a very nice turret, and it's damn easy to pick up kills, man. But, like, it used to be, 6 months ago or something, Engineer was first picked or first banned all the time. And that hero was addressed right off the bat. And did he take nerfs? I feel like he took a couple of nerfs.
Yeah.
But
the energy field, main thing, longer cooldown.
But is that enough? Like, I don't think it is. Because his laning presence, his aggressive laning presence, was always the best thing about it. I mean, the energy field was very, very nice at the end, especially if you get a good one off. But a lot of the times it was just okay. It was a nice interrupt, but it was more of a annoyance than a real big problem, especially because you can kill it so quickly. And
I think, yeah, there's that, but I think it's also the shifting of the meta going more towards the get a kill and then push. And Engineer isn't that good at the whole pushing. And a lot of the other supports are. Like Rhapsody has the heal, of course. Then there's Torture, who's also picked up really often. He has the impalement. So that's the main difference.
Yeah, Boardbeater pointing out that there were range and damage nerfs to NG, and I think that's also correct. So yeah, like, that's true. I still feel like the hero is not played as much as he should be, especially because I keep going back to this. There aren't that many great supports right now. Like, there's Rhapsody, who's in a tier by herself, and then there's a bunch of other heroes like Glacius, Torturer, Empath, Engineer that are good and better in certain situations, but not really first pick material, and Rhapsody definitely is. So I think NG doesn't get enough credit among that group of tier 2 supports for how much he gets picked up, which really isn't enough. But we should talk about the rest of the stuff that's going on. Bubbles, Wretched Hag, and Silhouette getting banned out by DNKE, so targeting largely solo heroes, as well as some heroes with some carry potential and some late game in that Hag and Sil. Revenant, Riftwalker, and Flux being taken out by the Hellborn side, so largely initiators there, as well as some just heavy damage dealers more than anything else. Fourth pick, Moon Queen, really, first pick out of the second banning phase for the Legion side, and the Hellborn will follow it up with a Kraken. So, yeah, Enthos, what are you thinking? I like these bans. How about you?
Yeah, I don't know about this Hellborn draft. It doesn't seem to flow together. I mean, Rhapsody and Parasite, two very strong heroes in the meta right now, along with Kraken. And Green is definitely notable for his Prisoner plays. He plays Prisoner extremely well. If you verse him in TMM, he's bound to pick that hero most of the time. So he's definitely comfortable, but I don't know, man. They have that stun on Rhapsody. They have, you know, the hook on Prisoner. There's no other guaranteed stuns right there. I don't know. I feel like they need more CC, especially against an AoE heavy team like Donkey Kong has. I mean, they have the Magnus, the Cthulhu Font, the Moon Queen, and Glacius, the NG. That is so much AoE damage, and that is a really, really strong team comp. So they need to pick a really good last hero in order to compete with them.
Yeah, and to be honest, what hero can that be? I mean, I feel that Clanks could be strong because he has two tanky frontliners and then Clanks just hitting everything. But at the same time, Magnus is going to get a PK, Cthulhufon's going to get a PK, so it's going to be really difficult for Clanks to really get away from that as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at this point, I don't know what they can pick to make this draft flow together. I feel like no hero can really bring it and make it, you know, flow like it needs to. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it really needs to do like a ranged carry. Yeah, so CD, but no stun on CD. Yep. I mean, plenty of damage, pretty good carry hero. You don't see him a lot anymore. But they just have one guaranteed stun on this team, and I don't like that at all.
Kraken also has no one to set up his ulti with, which is very comfortable. When you're playing Kraken, it's really nice to have either a Magnus or a Rally or a Pebbles or something that allows you to just hit the ulti every single time.
I would have liked DR more for them. I think that if they could have run a DR as a carry, it would have been a lot better. I mean, you got mobility, you have a little bit of CC, and some magic damage output. I mean, they do have a Parasite, but Prisoner and Kraken both physical damage, along with Corrupted Disciples. So, I mean, once this Legion team gets a Soulsborg, even into a Demonic, it's going to be bad news for this Hellborn draft.
The mobility is the big thing I'm concerned about as well. And CD is a relatively mobile hero, but you look at this Legion side, they've got multiple stuns, they've got the energy field, the ice imprisonment, stun. Well, I guess I consider Moon Queen's level 4 Moonbeam a stun because it's a 1 second, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
But that's 4 stuns and an imprisonment, plus the Thunderblast slow, plus the energy field, plus the Dream of Madness, I guess you could even consider that, and the slow from the Eruption. Hellborn side, in the meantime, have exactly one mobility ability in. Wow, that was a great rhyme. In Kraken. I really didn't want to say ability, but I couldn't think of another word because I didn't want the rhyme. Oh well. In Kraken's charge, and that's not even a disjoint, and it will take somebody with him if he gets positioned badly. So, can they get away from this Legion side? I seriously doubt it. And then the question is, can they compete with their damage?
Right.
There's so much damage. So much damage.
Yeah, their counter initiation is okay. They have the Prisoner ulti, the Kraken ulti. They have a Parasite for the burst, and a CD who, after a little bit of time, can get some return damage. But there's just no CC to keep them in place after they get their burst off. And I'm convinced that once this Legion team does get their burst off, the Hellborn team is either going to be dead or running for their lives. So as far as drafting goes, I definitely favor Donkey Kong. But if the Hellborn can win this laning phase, I mean, they can definitely make something happen. So they're going to have a Rhapsody Kraken bot versus a Moon Queen and Glacius. They're going to have a, let's see, CD solo top against that Cthulhu Font, and Prisoner, and dual mid against Engineer and Magnus. So, I don't know. I feel like the Legion team has a little bit of a stronger laning phase as well.
Yeah, especially the NG Magnus middle. I just love that lane. And in the bottom lane, are they going to be able to do anything about this Moon Queen with Kraken and Rhapsody? No.
Probably not.
Like, that's just not going to happen. So, top, Elephant Suicide, also not going to be able to kill him, so... Like, Hellborn need to win this laning phase, and I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it. They do have the jungle advantage, so we shouldn't ignore that either, because there is a Parasite on this Hellborn team, and there isn't a jungler on the Legion side. That means they're going to get an experience advantage, and as long as they win at least one lane, maybe two, then they'll maintain at least an even gold swing. And Engineer actually going to rotate to the bottom lane here, so what are you doing, Shuriken?
You're making it very difficult to make it objective, but the idea of this Legion team is to make sure that the Moon Queen gets farmed, because Magnus does quite well 1v1 against other melees.
Yeah.
Especially one like Prisoner, who, although he has a hook, Magnus usually does quite well. Yeah, and a shackle. Magnus usually does quite well because it's really difficult to hit a Magnus with a hook in the first place.
So Rhapsody's going to rotate middle. I support that decision. They wouldn't be able to do anything bot, and Prisoner could definitely use a little bit of help. So Engineer is probably going to move lanes again. They might go for a kill on this Kraken, but you never know.
Yeah. Shuriken with a pro Kegstun right there into the Glacius Ice Imprisonment, but not going to be enough because his damage isn't good enough. Because he's not level 2 and he doesn't have a turret. Because he's bad. This kid just can't even get a turret up.
Keep it objective, Quincy.
I'm going to spend this entire time flaming Shuriken because he's going to spend the entire cast. Oh, it's the Shackle crazy thing. Nice hook back there, but Magnus will still be able to get Lava Surge back. And the Hamster Ball Courier, always funny.
You know what, Quincy? In that case, I'm just gonna go full out on Prince himself.
That's what I figured was gonna happen. So that's why I'm preemptively.
Originally, I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it. I was like, you know, I'm gonna keep this objective. But now you've forced my hand. You forced my hand. Look at how much this Cthulhuphant is raping the CD. You'd expect CD to be so much better off, but he's only 10 GPM higher than the Cthulhuphant right now.
That's pretty sad. I mean, it's Corrupted Disciple should be absolutely wrecking this lane. And he will pick up a couple more creep kills right there. So now he has a head by a little bit. But still, I mean, Cthulhuphant's melee, and he should not have a very good time. Once he starts taking those denies, he will have the lane advantage favor as far as creeps are concerned.
Looks like Magnus could be in some trouble here. Not quite enough.
Close.
Yeah.
Magnus probably got to return to base.
Yep, so turns out actually that Magnus middle versus a melee won't be happening because Prisoner is there, and a nice hook again! And Shuriken just not able to dodge. Looks like he's going to be in a lot of trouble here, but drops an okay turret, I guess. It's going to let him get away.
I maximized slow on Rhapsody, so that was nice, and Prisoner was too damn slow to catch up to me.
Yeah. Well, unless he lands the hook here, and oh, no, just going to avoid it. So Shuriken will live.
Superior sidesteps.
I don't know, man. I think the Prisoner there just didn't have the right angle because, like, if he hadn't gone so far south, if you're a little bit more north, then the hook hits the entire pathing of that woody area in between the.
I'm sure
camps.
Shuriken would have realized that and eaten the tree. Go further down.
I doubt it. I think he just got lucky right there. But Moon Queen will lose lane control here in the bottom lane, and she will pound in some pretty good auto attacks to the Kraken, so he's going to drop pretty low, has no more health regen. And so he's going to either need to fly some out or head over to the observatory here and pick up a health pod or two if he wants to hang out in this lane, because this Glacius and Moon Queen can definitely kill him with the Ice Imprisonment and Moonbeam plus Thunderblast combo. So rotation for Shuriken bottom, not turned out to be a badass. Once again, this Magnus is getting hooked in, so as bad as Shuriken is here, Magnus is just eating these hooks, and actually might get a counter kill here on Rhapsody if you can lock him down. Kegstun has already been used, but it's back up in a second. Is he going to be able to land it? Yes, he will, and there's the Bloodlust. And off the side accurate, Slaskitter will die, so this Magnus just keeps trying to feed, while Shuriken is attempting to put the team on his shoulders and carry.
I feel like this Engineer is being extremely greedy and making lots of missed plays. I really think that getting that Bloodlust was a terrible idea. I really don't know what he's thinking here.
And top lane, actually, Cthulhuphant getting a kill on the CD.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
That should not have happened at all. CD was way too deep. He's now at 230 GPM and Cthulhuphant jumped up to 250. So Cthulhuphant... The thing about versing Cthulhuphant in a suicide lane is you don't want to let Cthulhuphant get a kill on you, because if he does, he will have the lane advantage by that point. I mean, he definitely needs some mana, but once he gets that, if he charges in and chases CD down, that's going to be grim for him. So, not a hero you want to get killed by, and I I think he's going to spiral out of control at this point.
And bottom lane actually cracking into die here as well. He already used the charge, and he's just going to get slowed down way too much. Moon Queen needs a couple more. Actually, no, just that one will finish him off. So Moon Queen picking up the kill there as well. And all of a sudden, the guys on DNKE taking a pretty nice 3-1 hero kill lead. They're not up too much in either gold or experience, thanks to that Parasite. But at the same time, we really haven't seen Parasite gank anywhere ever. And having that Cthulhu...
He was actually
get the kill
top.
Oh.
He tried to gank top a couple times, but because it's a Cthulhu find, it's really difficult
Right.
to get that kill on him.
That's true too. But anyway, Enthos, I wanted to ask you a question. Are
Sure.
there heroes that you want to get killed by? Because you say you don't want to get killed by Cthulhu. Does that mean that there are certain heroes that it's good to die to them?
The thing about Cthulhu is if he gets a level and gold advantage over you, it's going to start spiraling out of control for him.
Right.
Because he has the ability to charge into the creeps with that Hookem activated, and he will run you down. And there's really not much you can do at that point, especially with a CD who has no escape mechanism.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not a hero that you want to let get a kill on you. I mean, if you're versing a hero like a Rhapsody, an Empath, even things like a Prisoner, like, they don't have as strong... Cthulhu is just way too strong right now, and if he gets those early kills and that early GPM over you, he will spiral out of control.
Yeah, you see, you didn't understand. That was a stupid question. The correct answer was no.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to explain myself out of it.
Actually, no. Bottom lane, they're going to try to kill this Moon Queen. They will do so, so that's not bad.
Yeah, they needed that, and actually Hellborn is ahead in gold and experience by just a little bit, barely, or almost 1,000 on both gold and EXP.
And so what is this DNK team even doing? I mean, look, they're down in both gold and experience, despite having a hero kill lead and a pretty nice draft. I just feel like they're getting massively outplayed here, and I'm really concerned about that because I'm not sure how good they were to begin with. So
You know, it's funny you should bring that up, Quincy, because I was just about to ask, how is this team in the gold division? These guys
Yeah.
should be in silver at best, but probably bronze is the best fit for them.
right. I mean, I'm looking at them
I
and
don't
I'm going.
understand.
I'm looking at them and I'm going like, there's so many misplays, and if this were a team, you know, in gold, like they're getting punished a little bit, but it feels like they should be getting punished a lot more because of all the errors that are coming out. And actually, right there, Cthulhu missing the charge, and it's going to be a pretty easy getaway there for CD. He might even try to turn this around as Rhapsody's coming in from the side, but not quite going to have range for the Staccato Stun. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Is you know, this DNK team is missing abilities all over the place, and you're going to rotate top as well and do nothing. He gets spots out. He gets spotted out by this lane ward, which I'm sure he is not aware is even there. And actually, as I was here is Cthulhu will die. He gets face hug. No, is he going to die? Yes. No, he's not. So he gets away because he got lucky. And middle lane, meanwhile, actually Prisoner and Magnus going at it over here. Kraken also getting chased through the woods. As Kraken is going to get a good route here, but that little fight back there, yeah, that's bad.
Oh, back
Lava
to
Surge.
stun. Yep. Barely
So-
in range.
I don't know.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion
And they lose the top tower. So, just new plays all over the place, I
Yeah.
think, is what it comes down to. Any thoughts on that,
CD
Trojan?
caught back up.
Well, it comes down to the fact that having a jungler really gives you an advantage in the XP department at least, and well, Donkey Kong, they're making interesting choices. Like, not interesting choices, but the reason the gold lead is there for the Hellborn is because even though Moon Queen should have had free farm, she only has 310 GPM, which is
Yeah.
really astounding because she was against the Suicide Kraken. That should be 370 GPM at least, but with only having that 315 GPM, the carry is not showing her full potential, you know what I mean?
Against the Kraken that
Definitely.
they've killed twice, too.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
it's absolutely ridiculous that he doesn't have more GPM than that.
so are we getting some insight into why this team has since reformed itself? Is that what you're saying?
How'd you guess?
I'm not saying anything.
that was not nice of me, but oh well. Prisoner
Prisoner
got here,
got
yeah,
on-
he's totally screwed. It's catching that from the beginning, and that's fine. And Staccato Suns are in lockdown Tulifant, but they're gonna kill the Illusion Rhapsody. I was like, wow, that thing is dying really quick, and doesn't seem to be trying to save itself, but it's because it's fake.
But now the XP lead has switched completely into the Legion's favor.
Right.
Yeah, so big kill there on Prisoner.
So yeah, Legion is slightly ahead. I mean, they have that Magnus at 325 GPM. Moon Queen
And bottom lane,
behind,
yeah.
about 15. And yeah,
Kraken
bot
getting
lane,
crushed.
Kraken falling.
Saw that too.
Just furthering their lead already. I mean, Kraken's 0-3 at this point. I think he needs to swap lanes because clearly he can't handle this lane down here.
Yeah.
What's interesting is Parasite's saving up 3k gold. Why? What's the point of that? He's been very inactive this game. Maybe
Yeah.
he's scared of the Cthulhu Fund, but he really should have something to make him more of a threat.
Yeah, I think he should have Ghost Marches by this point at the very least.
And actually double Elvister to the bottom lane.
Moon Queen
Kraken
barely getting close.
is going to be enough. That's not even Kraken. That's Rash is going to die. Reisner, whatever. Prisoner going to die here as well. I don't think he hit the hook on anybody. Dream of Madness going there. And Lava Surge forward, not quite enough damage. Nope, here comes Energy from the back. And will he be able to get a kill? Not quite. Bottle charge from Prisoner coming in, and Keg's going to be completely dodged as that was a horrible placement. What he's doing. He's going to hook back in as well as Shortcan going to drop here on this Engineer. It looks like he just might, but here comes Glacius trying to save his butt, and he will get the counter kill onto Corrupted Disciple. Shortcan getting saved so hard right there, and actually Kraken diving here. This is a bad decision. He wants to get the kill on either of these supports, but it looks like that might have been a really poor choice. That Shortcan will die in the end, and they will get the kill onto Kraken. As Rhapsody comes back in, Parasite finally getting a little bit active there with the Facehug and Leech combination, finishing off that Engineer. And Prisoner with a regen rune, actually, that's unfortunate, as he nearly died and didn't quite do so. Shackle is there, and he looks like he's ultimate from Moon Queen. Is he going to make the counter kill? Not quite. Not quite enough damage on that tanky Prisoner. And here comes Parasite in, gets popped out of the Minotaur, but kills Glacius, which was a terrible decision for him to come back in. Hook back onto two, Staccato's there as well, and Steambath will be stopped as a result of that. Obliterate from Cthulhu is doing a lot, and Lava Surge comes back in. Looks like Prisoner's going to be able to skirt out once again, so 2 fights there. He's able to live with almost no health, as they did kill that Parasite, of course. Now Shortcan getting pulled back in, and he's going to drop, despite the Keg stun not hitting anything. Could possibly have gotten the counter kill on that Prisoner, but just a little bit off on the placement. And charge back from Kraken. They want to kill this elephant. Jesus Christ. This fight is going on for, what, like 2 minutes now?
Yeah.
Everybody died and respawned and came back and fought again.
I like it. More action.
Yeah.
Ultimately, better for the Hellborn.
I think
because
so,
they managed
slightly.
to swing the game back into their favor.
Yeah, and getting rid of that Moon Queen was the most important thing.
Yeah, two very close calls on Prisoner. I mean, he was below 50 HP the first time, dropping just below 100 the second time. He kept it close, and miraculously he survived. So, well played from the Hellborn team.
And Elephant here could also be in some trouble. Kraken looking for a torrent. Everybody's at full mana, and Glacius gonna actually dodge the hook there. Quite a nice sidestep. Shackle goes down though, and he's still gonna fall. That's I think my second favorite death sound on the Snowman Glacius.
Back again someday.
I don't know.
Jack Frost.
I think that's very funny. My favorite is the Baker version
Balfagor.
of Balfagor, yeah.
Cookies at my funeral. I like it too. Prisoner scouting out the Invis is going to pick it up bot, so that could be big for him. He does have his ulti up pretty shortly here.
Cut out here a little bit, takes some leech and a face hug, but not too much other damage coming out from Parasite. As he did pick up the Codex, so that was my suspicion, was that he was saving 3k gold to pick up that early Codex, and he's got it relatively quickly. But no.
I don't like it.
I don't either. I mean, especially against the Moon Queen, who you know is going to get a BKB.
And middle lane, he is
point.
getting caught out here, and he's going to die
Legion
to the sling
Tower.
rotation. So, right, Moon Queen's going to get a BKB. BKB. Cthulhu is not going to die to that. Magnus almost certainly won't die to that. So it's basically going to be picking out the supports, which can be useful, as actually Magnus can take a hook and a shackle and an ultimate from Prisoner. Should be a pretty easy kill on Slaskadred. And over to here, it's like Cthulhu wants the counter kill onto Rhapsody, won't quite get it. As Rap gets to what, like 4 health there, it looked like? Yeah, I think that's about where she was. Elephant now trying to get away. And hook back in onto him. Dream of Madness, of course, is going off. And Kegsun there will be dodged as the Prisoner turns around to attack his buddy. So Elephant will be able to just run on out of there, and he should be fine.
Good hit from Prisoner, but
Yeah.
yeah, just not enough follow-up.
And
And Prisoner actually picks up another Parasite.
which we
I'm
see
kind of
fairly
surprised to see that. I like
There on Elephant. He's landing all of these hooks here. The question is, are they going to be able to kill anybody? A nice counter there, energy ultimate, but it won't actually save file on that Elephant. They might be able to get counter kill on this Kraken if they can slow him down enough for Moonbeam. Moonbeam. There's a keg stun as well. Actually gets dodged, but a 2-man Lava Surge there from Magmus, and will finish off Kraken. Ends up being a 1-for-1 there. Likely, let's see, I don't know, in favor of who? Neither side really. I don't know. Elephant's not having a great time, but they need the
Suicide for Suicide.
Yeah. It's hard to tell.
But it all comes down again to the fact that Moon Queen just didn't have such a good time down at bottom. That's why there was such an intense gold lead at the start. And again, the CD is leading, and it all comes from that the Prisoner is also leading because the team fights went in their way because they just had an advantage already before those team fights at bottom even started.
And this is definitely a mid-game oriented team. I mean, like, we really haven't seen much from CD either. He's basically just been free-farming top, and he actually has the highest GPM in the game, so that's good for him. The issue is he's not going to out-carry Moon Queen, so Hellborn basically need to take this game. They're doing what they need to do, and they're shutting her down early. And then they're going to have to win this probably within a half an hour. Because if they let her, even with mediocre farm, get some decent items up, she will just cross them. Especially something like a Parasite. It's just not going to do anything. Eruption coming in onto Prisoner here. We're absolutely trying to help out with the Cicados, but it looks like they're both going to fall for that. And Humiliation coming out as somebody put a pretty stupid taunt up there. I don't know why they thought they were going to get a kill. And Kraken trying to do something, but obviously won't have an angle to do so. Anyway. This Parasite Codex, man.
I don't like it, but I guess I kind of understand it because you're against the Cthulhu Fund, but it's still I hate it.
I don't know if you guys have been there before when I talked about this. Okay, one of the best things about the Puzzle Box Mauler is the fact that it can eat damage that other heroes can't control. You've got a Moon Queen with her ultimate, a Magmus with his ultimate, even the Cthulhu Fund Obliterate, and Energy Field. If one of those accidentally kills a Puzzle Box Mauler, that's a lot of damage. And for heroes that aren't necessarily that tanky, especially a Moon Queen, that can be the difference between living and dying in a fight. So, if a couple of those Moonbeam bounces get eaten by a Puzzle Box minion, that'd be fantastic. And actually middle lane, Prisoner looking for something but won't find it.
You're not going to mention the fact that he ultied and that I kegged my way out of it?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Just don't worry about it.
Anyways, great plays coming out from Shorkin. Kraken looking for something mid as well.
Yeah. But he really needs PK too, and he's going Helm first.
Too late.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's 18 minutes in, and he's not going to have it for at least 20, or until at least 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that Kraken got destroyed in that bot lane, and Elephant got that initial kill on the CD, Kraken's actually farming slightly more than this Elephant at the moment, which I don't expect at all. So Kraken's definitely caught back up, and he does need that portal key, no doubt about it. They need those initiation tools, or counter initiation tools. And I mean, once the team fights begin, man, this Hellborn team is in trouble because every 5-man team fight should, theoretically, go in the Legion's favor. They have so much team fight potential, so much CC, that I just don't see any way that they can put up with it.
I also want to point out that Glacius Downpour would get eaten by the Puzzle Box Mauler and might accidentally kill him, and they have the Steam Bath from Magmus that's the Pride Vision. So, Shackle there, not quite in time. Actually, the Face Hug and the Torque going down, and there's the Codex as well, but they didn't do enough damage. They didn't realize that that wasn't going to kill him. Parasite could have had the auto attack, and he basically just failed. Poor Beater's in chat, and I feel bad for him because he's not having a good game. And his Prisoner misses the hook right there, but
But meanwhile, Moon Queen and Cthulhu Fund are just farming.
Yeah, and I'm kept at 379 gold per minute now. Or no, 391. What am I even talking about? That's CD, that's 379. So now, yeah,
and you said, and you said earlier that Kraken had more farm than the Cthulhu Fund, but Cthulhu Fund actually has 40 more now, because he's just been sitting in that top.
Right. Stealing them jungle camps, and to his credit, CD is actually counter-juggling middle lane. Prisoner getting caught out as he will die. So really Prisoner going for the aggressive plays all the time, which they have to do. Like, they need to get these pickoffs. This is when their heroes are going to be best at it. And they need to create space for CD to farm, they need to shut down this Moon Queen, but they're not really doing it. Like, DNKE have a 15 to 11 hero kill lead, and they shouldn't. Like, this is a dual support versus a jungling Parasite, so Parasites should have a bunch of squishy targets to use that Codex on. And they have a lot of mid-game oriented heroes, but they're just not winning.
Right. I was going to mention this earlier. I mean, Green playing Prisoner is getting a lot of good hooks off, no doubt about that. But when you think of a draft that
Bottom
has...
lane actually Corrupted Disciple, actually going to eat the eruption, and Parasite here also could be in some trouble as well. He's going to throw the leech out and try to run away. Should be fine. He does not have a port, and they're going to completely whiff. No, Glacius. Did he see him? He didn't see him. How did he not see him? Over here, actually, a Lava Surge there onto Kraken, and he's going to die, so they say, screw it, we'll just not go for Parasite, we'll go for Kraken, and Parasite going to fight Wild Hunters here, so that was pretty lucky.
No doubt.
Board Beater actually going to get out of this? I assume so, yes. He's going to pop the Invis from the Wild Hunter and just leave.
I think at this point, is he going to be greedy? Is he going to be greedy? I think so.
Yep.
Oh no, poor Shorkin.
Yeah, I wonder how you could possibly have seen that coming.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's going to pay for that. Lava Surge comes in, and here comes MQ as well, so not a great choice. As Parasite trying to get away from here, Moon Queen probably should have ulted there. And no, Glacius actually able to counter, as he managed to find the cutoff, so apparently Moon Queen should not have ulted.
He's trying for really big plays, but it didn't work out. The juke was just too many heroes coming from all the sides.
Yep.
And Helm finished on that Kraken, but as you said, I really don't like that. At this point, Cthulhuphon has the PK, and you saw how it helped them actually kill that Kraken with the Magmus PK. So it's... And Prisoner also not going for a PK. I find that very interesting. I don't like it, and I find it very interesting as well.
I mean, we saw Kraken drop in a second in that bottom lane too. Like, he didn't live. That Helm is
He didn't have the Helm. He didn't have the Helm at that point, though.
Still,
He only had the life tube.
I still don't think the Helm is going to make him that much tanky. Because, like, he died in a second and a half or something like that. Okay, the Helm's going to make him live for 2. Okay,
yeah,
I mean...
That's true.
Like, if you don't have the tankiness to survive for a little bit longer without the Helm, I don't think that the Helm is going to turn you into a crazy powerful hero. Yeah, he needs vestments. Like, why doesn't he have vestments against this team? And actually, he's going to get jumped once again as we see Lava Surge come through. Hook there, not going to connect. Cthulhuphon charge in the background. And there goes the freeze. Looks like Kraken actually is going to counter ulti off, and Cthulhuphon and Glacius both going to die there, so apparently I should shut up. But the Lava Surge does eventually finish him off. Rapsy ultimate completely useless. And immediately canceled here over. Shortcan actually will get pulled back in on that Engineer. Shackle not quite up, and the Kegstun not going to help him out as the Codex does finish him off. So, dying there. It's too bad. Poor Shortcan.
Yeah,
It's just confusing how Moon Queen didn't port there. She did have a port available.
You really don't like this Moon Queen, do you?
No, it's just questionable.
I've been definitely not having a good game. Eruption coming around in middle lane as there goes one Moonbeam. Will be plenty to kill this Prisoner. And there you go. She ported for that.
Very well done.
And she hit the 460 gold per minute now. They will also deny the middle tower. So actually pretty good bait on that mid tower. And
But man, this NG has just been feeding all game. It's embarrassing to watch.
I agree. He's 2, 4, and 6. He's got the most deaths on this Legion side. And
the least GPM
right, I mean, like,
of the entire game.
I think you got to bring it up. Is this kick worthy? You know, is this sort of performance the kind of thing that gets you removed from the team?
Most likely.
I don't know.
most likely.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
vague answer. I
right.
like it.
Well, Shortcan is not on DNKE anymore, so it's probably from this game. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Name change, you know. Who cares?
well, you're not on DNK anymore, are you? I'm not wrong about that. So, ha,
You're not wrong, no.
ha. But Puzzlebox is finally finished on Parasite. Would have liked to see that about 10 minutes earlier.
Frostbrand on Prisoner as well.
I don't know what this prisoner is doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's landing hook after hook, man, but it goes back to the draft. When you think of a team with a hooker, like Devo or Prisoner, you think of a great follow-up team. You know, people with CCs, people to keep them in place. And they don't have that. A CD can't follow up a Prisoner hook. A Parasite can, but that's all you have. Kraken can't really keep them in place. Braxton has
Just
some
gonna get caught out
specific
here.
out of
Will be
follow-up.
pulled back in by the Prisoner ult, and the hook gonna finish him off. Prisoner gonna be able to get out of there. So yeah, sorry, finish your thought there, Anthos.
That's all I got.
Okay.
They just don't have the follow-up for a hook team like that. Or
I
a
want to
hook,
point something out.
player.
there is one player on the Hellborn side that has Mystic Vestments. Legion side's heroes consists of Magmus, Cthulhuphant, Moon Queen, Glacius, and Engineer. There is one hero on the Hellborn team that has Mystic Vestments.
The Legion
Okay.
have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there. And now Ringmail and Kraken over Vestments.
Gotta get that souls, man.
Okay,
Honestly, I
but
would
like
like to
over
see
here,
that
initiation as a Kraken ultimate will catch Moon Queen, but she puts the ultimate down, and the ultimate from Rhapsody immediately stopped by the Lava Surge, and a Yummy on that Rapidly the first one to drop. File finally dying for the Legion side, Cthulhu been taken out, and I was like on Moon Queen also getting killed. Parasite just gonna be able to live here with the Striders. Kegstun not quite enough range, and now it looks like Enju's gonna pay for that. 3-man lava. For some reason, Parasite came back into that. I don't know why. It looks like they're gonna try to kill this Magmus, but he should be okay, as he's got enough tankiness, and a Lava Surge stun back up. No! Okay. I feel like he should not have died there, but oh well. Glacius?
No, he should not have. It all came down to the fact that he didn't want to use his lava surge, but he was trying to dodge it by just running. And it's always better to just take the safe option,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with a hero like Kraken who can perform surprising amounts of burst damage.
And Kraken no portal key, Lava Surge would have given an all clear. He had plenty of mana, and it's not like he was going to get counter kill, so odd. But Shrunken Head picked up on Corrupted Disciple, so the one hero that does have Mystic Vestments now has magic immunity.
He's compensating for the rest of his team.
And it feels like he realizes what's going on in this game. I'm not sure if the rest of the Hellborn team realizes what's going on in this game. Because, yeah, chat's loving the fact that you said team with a hooker, by the way.
Oh, but of course.
I was sitting there going, like, there's got to be a joke here. There is. There's got to be a million
there
jokes
are
here,
several.
and I've
There are
got none of them. Like, none of them want to come to my brain.
I was thinking of a couple, but I thought it would be inappropriate to mention it on the stream.
I don't.
But,
Pretty
have,
much nothing is
Twitch
inappropriate
open
to
at the
mention
moment.
on
What
the
was the
stream.
best joke? What was the best hooker joke?
I came up with nothing.
No, what was the hooker joke from our viewers?
Oh, they didn't make
Oh,
any
they
hooker
just said
jokes.
team with a hooker.
They just kept saying it with a kappa.
You're just quoting it.
5
But,
people
I
in
mean,
a row.
Anthos, you did say, with a hooker hero,
yeah.
you need to have follow-up.
I said it knowing
Like
the
a hooker
possible
needing a pimp.
consequences. I said it knowing the possible consequences. I'm just gonna lay that out there.
Prisoner needs a pimp.
Yeah,
He
pretty
doesn't
much.
have a pimp right now.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
needs
it comes
that
down
backup.
to. Yeah.
Like, if these hoes gonna be stepping to him, he needs somebody that's gonna teach him what's right.
I mean, they got a crack dealer. They got a hoe, a hooker. So what else do they have?
I think Rhapsody's the hooker, the crack dealer, by the way.
No,
For sure.
Kraken. What are you talking about?
This is DJ Rhapsody. She is a fine and lovely woman. She is not a hooker.
No, she plays the music for them while they're partying and stuff.
Yeah,
She's a hoe.
Definitely.
sure can. I will kick you off this cast. DJ Rhapsody is the best, and you shall not demean her good name.
So
Look
what's
at her.
Corrupted Disciple then?
He's that creepy guy in the corner who owns the
That's a pretty terrifying alt right there.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Like, what's wrong
Yeah.
with you,
Yeah.
man?
Because, the guy is actually rich because he has Shrunken and has quite high GPM. But, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, CD's doing well here, and actually the rest of the Hellborn side isn't doing particularly badly. 270 gold per minute or so on Prisoner Kraken and Parasite, but they're getting outfarmed by Moon Queen at the top end and by Magmus in the middle, and even Cthulhuphant's having a better time than they are, so it's interesting. I mean, I guess there's the lack of the second support on the Hellborn team is the big deal. That's the reason that the gold lead is so close. But the later this goes, the more powerful Moon Queen's going to get. She's already at 500 GPM, and the bigger the team fight's going to be. Like, they're not going to be able to compete with this team fight at all, and they're not going to be able to pick people off. Like, this Parasite Codex, at this point, who can he kill? I don't think he can even kill Engie. Engie's got vestments and 1300 health, so there's no death there. It's Glacius, that's it. And Glacius has vestments, so
I think Glacius is a slightly easier one-shot, but because... Is it level 1 Codex?
I can't tell.
I
He's
think
in a
so.
creep. I think it is.
Yeah.
He went for Puzzle Box right after the Codex, so I can't imagine he had enough gold to level it up. And he's got a level 2 Puzzle Box now.
But yeah. So, it pretty much comes down to why the Codex instead of the puzzle box. I mean, he had good farm. I mean, he wasn't ganking, so I'd really hope he had good farm at least. So a puzzle box. I mean, I know there's a weakness versus Cthulhu that he will just eat your creep, but if you manage to catch Cthulhu with already a shield on and you drain all his mana, because Cthulhu does not have that large of a mana pool, and with a puzzle box 3, draining his mana is relatively easy.
Speaking of Cthulhu, gonna get hooked in there. Actually, Shackle. Isn't that supposed to stop Trample? Am I crazy?
He got it mid charge.
Is that what it is? Yeah, that would certainly explain it. But Legion side are gonna look to push this middle lane. Off to the side here, Cthulhu getting caught by the Skeleton King net again, and Parasite using a lot of his burst there, also across the puzzle box. Here comes the energy field, actually bring a place in the background, Eruption going off onto 2. Moon Queen also catching a bunch, Young and Fun that Rhapsody get the first one to die. Over here, Obliterate's going to go off on top of Prisoner, he will fall. Corrupted Disciple, not too much else he can do, as the Shrunken Head has worn off. Parasite going to get inside a creep and leave, so ends up being a 2 for nothing there. Legion side do drop all 5 of their ultimates, but they get a couple of free kills. And looks like they could either take Kong or take mid tower here. And what should they do, Sharkan?
I don't remember. I don't remember what they should do.
Looks like middle is going to be the choice.
Mid would be a better choice because all the heroes are relatively low and the tower is far faster to take down.
Yeah.
So.
And they could reasonably do Kong after this. They still have 26 seconds left on the Prisoner, and they're going to have lane control in middle as well. But they're in fact just going to hunt the Hellborn Woods, which is also fine. I would have liked to have seen it at some point.
Yeah. As you've always said so far in this game, the Legion side have a stronger late game, so why rush things? Why take unnecessary risks?
Yeah, no doubt. And losing a Kong war fight would definitely be a pretty big issue. So perhaps look to take that tier 2 bottom, get some more wards up around the pit and in the lanes before you decide to kill Kongor. But I mean, like Moon Queen with a token can just literally sit in the base and kill everything, and they can't do anything about it. Because if they use all their spells to kill her once and burn the token, then they can't do anything else. And it's going to take pretty much all their spells.
Right.
Pretty much all their spells. She has 1,800 health.
I personally think that Kraken should have waited on the Soul's Bulwark and went for a Barrier Rattle instead. I mean, look at the magic damage on this Legion team, and it speaks for itself, man. That 400 damage mitigation would be huge in team fights, and I think that they really need that. So, hopefully one of them pick up the Barrier Rattle soon. I mean, it's absolutely necessary against this game. They can't go around it. They need to pick up that item, no matter what, if they intend to win this game.
Every single hero on the Hellborn side should have vestments. I keep saying it.
That too.
Every single hero should have vestments.
But Barrier Rattle's a great addition.
I mean, yeah. I mean, sure. Get vestments, build into a Shaman's Headdress, build that into a Barrier Rattle. Absolutely, go for it. That's a great team item, especially against the amount of AoE magic that's coming out against this by this Legion team. But Prisoner get caught here as well. Cthulhu Trample after the Lava Surge. There's the Ice Imprisonment. Off the side here, if CD wants something, there's a Sheep Stick onto him. Looks like Prisoner is just going to die before his ult goes off. Rhapsody's ultimate gets cancelled, and CD will have to pop his Shrunken to live over here. Rhapsody will fall to the Lava Surge in the background, and it looks like CD going to try to pour it out here, but a Kickstun catches him, and he will also fall. Shortcan with a double tap. And it looks like the puzzle box minions will also be cleaned up there, so 3 for nothing there. And again, they used 3 ultimates actually only in that fight. They also got a Shrunken Head cooldown out of CD. No Parasite gonna die too. So just got to the end of that as he picked off Glacius.
Yeah, failure to position themselves properly. I mean, CD was way too deep in there, Rhapsody as well. They just got annihilated there. There was no reason to follow up Prisoner there. They should have just let him go and gotten back. But they really paid for it, man. 4 for 0 trade, and they can get a Rax here quite easily.
What really bothers... Oh, there we go. PK finally on Kraken. 34 minutes, so that's about 20 minutes too late. I feel that Kraken needs PK. It's absolutely poor on him, and getting it this late, it's like losing out on the whole ability to snowball. And Moon Queen, look at the damage on the Rax. That is absolutely ridiculous.
It's Moon Queen!
Woo.
Yay!
And she'll have a Wingbow soon. She will have a Wingbow right now.
570 gold per minute.
Yep.
There's the Snake Bracelet. Already has the Dancing Blade, 200 gold until the Steam Staff. So.
Nah, she has both already.
Oh, does she?
Yep.
They're flying out. Look at that.
I don't agree with this CD's items. I don't think you should have gotten a Searing Light. I think you should have went straight for that Geos. What do you guys think about that?
Geos is
No.
really great versus the Glacis.
Yeah, look how much
But,
AoE magic damage they've got. It would just die.
Yeah, like that's the main problem. And I've noticed actually that Yumifa has been placing this exact same ward, and it annoys me to no end because it gives such great vision.
And Glacius, you're gonna get caught out a little bit. Yeah, there's a Shackle as well. Elder Parasite from Prisoner basically makes it impossible for him to juke.
Right, but a Searing Light, I don't understand the thought process behind getting that Light brand on Corrupted Disciple. I think that
Now.
Should
was
have just been a Frostburn.
I don't understand
Yeah.
why we get it now. Like if it's
Yeah.
your first item, Searing Light, fine, it's a good farming mechanism. Go for it. But I don't actually know. I haven't been paying too much attention to his item progression. But if that just happened now, then yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it wasn't. He's had it for a bit now, but I mean, his mana pool is already fairly decent. I don't see a reason behind spending
It's-
2,200 gold on that when he can get something a
Well,
little
he
bit better, quite a
he
bit
can't
better.
spam the Tide to clean up creeps without a little bit of mana help, and the Searing Light does give him that dot effect that lets him clean up camps. So if he wants to compete with this Moon Queen at all in terms of overall farm, he's going to need something like that. I mean, like CD is just not a good natural creep farmer. He doesn't
Yeah,
do
there are
that.
better
And actually,
farming
top
items than that,
lane,
though.
Parasite gets the kill. Like a
The
Thunderclaw.
Hellborn have
He
destroyed
did
a
end
Legion
up
tower.
bugging the tower though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I still can't believe that hasn't been fixed. And off to the side here, Andrew gonna drop a ultimate right on CD's face. Easy kill. And he's gonna pay for that, but definitely a good 1-for-1. And Cthulhu and Magmus both actually inside the Kraken ultimate. Looks like Cthulhu's gonna die here. But Moon Queen says, hello, I'm going to kill this Rhapsody. Now I'm gonna kill your entire team. Here comes the eruption on to 3.
Hellborn
I gotta say,
has been
perfect
destroyed.
initiation
A
from
Hellborn
Legendary right
barracks
there.
has been destroyed.
Yeah, it pretty much was. I mean, that
Magnus
was...
just completely turned that around.
He did help. I mean, that was a one-team fight for them, even if it was just Moon Queen auto-attacking, I think. But regardless, I mean, Shorthand's right. Like, that was a good initiation. It was shutting down the CD. He couldn't get a Shrunken Head off. He got locked down. And that's all their damage at this point. So,
The
what could they
Legion
do
have
after he was
destroyed
dead?
a Hellborn tower.
Well, final thoughts on that game, Enthos?
Beautiful, beautiful draft from this Legion team. I mean, it's pretty much perfect. I mean, you have great initiation tools, great AoE tools, 2 supports, and just full-out farm on that Moon Queen, ending up with 618 GPM by the end of that
The
game.
Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
So, no doubt, draft very good, and execution quite good as well. Shorthand, what are your final thoughts on that game?
Very awkward at the start of the game for the Legion side, which was very unfortunate to witness. There should have been a lot more things that went better for them, like the free farming Moon Queen. I mentioned it multiple times, not out of spite or anything, but it should have just gone better. And the Hellborn, they did make a valiant effort, but it really comes down to that Parasite pick. If you're gonna pick a Parasite, please use him.
Yeah.
Because he had no impact that game at all.
Right. I mean,
Less
like,
impact than the Engineer.
even if you're going to go the Codex build, fine, but your next route should not be to continue to farm. It should be every single time the Codex is off cooldown, I'm killing one of these supports, at least. And it just
Yeah.
never felt like he was picking off the supports as much as he should have been. Well, that's okay. That'll do it for game 1 there, and we'll move into game 2 here.